sometimes cartoons are fun.
I'd rather watch a documentary. I can't believe you love cartoons.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I really liked the film a lot. So let's get right into it. So thanks for joining me today. I wanted to talk to you about Muted. I really loved this film. Thought it was really well shot, very professional. The premise was awesome, and the acting was great. And the moments of silence were like so jarring in a good way. It was like very immersive. Like just the moment where things actually muted, it like really pulled me in. I don't know. There's something about that. Actually, this is a weird comparison, but I remember seeing in like a Star Wars movie something like that happen, and like the whole theater is quiet, just complete silence. So there's something about doing that muting effect that really draws you in, and I really felt it in this film as well. And yeah, it just, the other last thing I'll say real quick is that it felt, for being so short, it felt very complete and satisfying at the end, which is like really hard for short films to do, let alone films under 2 minutes. So that was pretty awesome. So that's kind of, those were my thoughts and why I'm so, why I liked it so much. I wanted to talk to you about it. So if you both could just introduce yourselves, tell me a little bit about like your film background, and yeah.
Do you want to start, Jenna?
Sure, yeah. So I started out as an actor. My career began with just a focus on acting, and then eventually got to the point where I felt like I was always waiting for opportunities and wanted to start making my own. So I met a like-minded person in an acting class, and we decided to write something together. And then I realized I really need to learn about screenwriting. So I took some classes, and we started writing a lot together, actually, my acting friend and I, and that was awesome. It was really wonderful to learn that way, just trying new things. We were reading books and reading other scripts. And then I got really into the world and started to do a lot of live improv and live sketch, and then an all-female sketch team that we made, that we created online content. And that was the first time I really got into creating my own stuff, writing something, and figuring out how do you take it from the paper to the screen. So we got to play around. We had no budget for anything. We just used our phones a lot and made lots of fun stuff, lots of weird stuff. It was great. But Muted is the first time I directed something, a narrative short. So that's kind of how I got here.
Wow. So I noticed a lot of the filmmakers we interview say they started out as actors. It's happened like many times at this point, and it's pretty interesting. And I would just like to ask, like, where are you now with acting? Have you kind of just completely focused on the directing side, or are you still doing some acting stuff as well?
Yeah, still very much wanting to do acting. I'm pursuing that. I have a toddler, so things have gotten a little complicated as far as like scheduling and time and sleep. I really miss sleep. That used to be part of my life, and it is no longer. So there's been a lot of a reframing of like, these are all the things I still love and feel passionate about. I'm also raising a family. How can I, piece things together? And so I'm still figuring that out, but acting is still very much a huge love of mine. And I still very much want it to be a part of my life. So yes, still acting.
Yeah, that's, very relatable. And I feel that way too, about like waiting around to get the kind of roles that you want and the projects that you want. And I'm kind of proactive too. I make some like short comedies as well. And so I don't really like waiting around, waiting for people to say yes, or relying on too many people. I just want to go out and do it. And so I can totally relate to that. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the reason people pursue any avenue of storytelling is that it's fulfilling to us. I feel so alive when I'm acting or directing on set. I feel so alive in a way that I don't with other things. And so it's like when you're busting your, can we swear here? Are we swearing?
Yeah, it's
You're
fine.
busting your butt, really trying to make things happen. It gets so frustrating because you want that fulfillment and that joy, and even in the challenging moments, it's so just feels so good. So it's yeah, I get to a point where like you just want to do it. The thing that you're practicing and working so hard on, you just want to do it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice to be able to harness that and create something.
Yeah. What about you, Tara? What's your background?
So I'm a writer and producer based in Los Angeles. I actually was born at Cedar, so I'm a local girl, and then I grew up in Laguna Beach. I went to UC Irvine, and then I got my MBA from Pepperdine, and then I just fell in love with screenwriting. So I went to the screenwriting program at UCLA, and that was when my first delved into writing feature length projects. And I started when I was, because of all my, family ties to the industry. So when I got lucky when I was 19, and in college, I got an opportunity to work under Walter C. Miller, the big director for all the, Emmy Awards and the Grammy Awards and all those things.
Wow.
So he's won a bunch of Emmys himself. And so he kind of took me under his wing. So I got to go to New York and do the Grammys and People's Choice Awards and all kinds of cool stuff like that. And then after college, I went to go work in marketing at Sony Pictures. And I worked on some big projects, some tent films like Spider-Man and stuff, the campaigns. So that was really fun. But I'm really a creative at heart. And so I just fell in love with screenwriting. And most recently, I'm on the producing team of the Oscar-winning live action short, The Singers. So that's been really fun and amazing and surreal the last few weeks after we sold it to. Yeah, we sold it to Netflix, and then the whole everything, we're like, oh my gosh, we're Oscar shortlisted. Oh my gosh, we're Oscar nominated. Oh my gosh, we won. So it's been kind of
Wow, that's awesome.
crazy and in a best possible way. So I couldn't be more grateful, and so grateful to Sam Davis, the director, and to David and Jack, the two lead producers, for bringing me on this journey. So it's been really amazing.
Wow.
So that's been the most exciting recently.
That's pretty amazing. And
It's gonna be tough to be.
Oscars are really heavy. That is something I did not know. When I took it, when Sam handed it to me, I was like, oh my gosh, I had to do two hands. And
wow. So I got an Oscar winner on, in this interview. That's pretty cool. Well, how did you meet each other?
Oh, okay. Well, this is a fun story. Do you want to take it, Jenna? Or do you want me to?
Go for it, Tara.
So we have a mutual friend, Erin Brown Thomas. She actually is a producer on Muted. And she put together a group to, try to put together some people to make some short films. And so Jenna and I were in that group, and so was Kelsey Gunn, our lead. And so I thought of the idea and of how disconnected people are, even when they're sometimes just sitting right next to each other. I was on a trip with my nieces, and they were sitting on the sofa just doing the endless scroll on their iPhones, watching TV in the background, not talking. So I pitched it to Jenna, and I was like, what if we do this, but it's like a married couple? And I actually wanted to have them arguing over her wanting to watch reality shows, but we couldn't get clearance. So Jenna got the amazing cartoon that she found.
That was awesome.
Royalty free. Woo!
And then we'll have, the supernatural thing of the mute button coming in and muting everybody.
Yeah.
And then, then they kind of realize, and there's some remorse, but it's a little bit too late. And so Jenna jumped in immediately, said, I want to direct it. I want to co-write it with you. And I said, amazing. I would love that. And then Kelsey said, I want to act in it. And she said she has this amazing friend, Jon Snow, who'd been on The Rookie and some other TV shows. And so we said, yes, please bring him. And then her husband is an amazing cinematographer. So he was our DP. And Erin produced it
together so fast. It was wild. It was like one person said yes, and oh, I know somebody else, and that person said yes, and they knew somebody else, and we all of a sudden we had people.
Awesome.
And
we were on a really tight timeline. So it was pretty amazing how it all came together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we wanted to get done and in for Slam Dance, and that's where we ended up premiering. They accepted us. So we premiered at Slam Dance. So we were super excited. And because we shot it in like half a day. Editing was so quick. Our turnaround, Aaron Brown Thomas, our producer, had directed Chasers, which I was an EP on, and that had premiered at Sundance last year.
Wow.
So we got Joe, the editor from that project, to be our editor. And he turned it around with Jenna, and Jenna's like the most brilliant director in the world. She made that thing look easy. I mean, every take was perfect. She prepped the actors like it was just, she was up there like a conductor. It was beautiful to watch her.
Yeah.
I should have done this.
Yeah, I mean, for being so short, it seems like a lot went into it and it was taken like very seriously, like even being a comedy and stuff. So yeah, I could tell just by watching that. That's pretty awesome. Well, Tara, I mean, that kind of answers the question I was going to ask about, like what inspired you to create it. So Jenna, like what drew you to that initial idea, that premise?
So I am a sci-fi girl, and I heard magic remote, and I was locked in.
Yes.
So the whole idea clicked with me so much too. The idea that we are surrounded by so much noise. I don't know a single person who doesn't immediately think, yes. When you say, isn't there so much noise in the world right now? Like it's constant. Everybody's like, yes, make it stop. How do we make it stop? Because it's so much, and a lot of it's very negative. And we need to connect to get through all of it, but a lot of times it's so loud, it causes us to disconnect. And so just the basic idea of it, I related to so instantly, and then this sci-fi element was so exciting. I just started having all these ideas and thought, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And once Tara and I started talking about it one-on-one, it just felt like it was right. Like we were just like, yes, to my improv background. Yes, and yes, and yes, and and it just kind of really built. And then once we started writing the script, it's really hard. We were trying to make a 60-second version, and we did.
We
So
did.
you've seen the 90-second, if you can believe it. There's a version that is a third shorter.
Wow.
Yes, and to the credit of our editor, he did. I mean, it's just seamless. He did magic. But yeah, so it was the part of it that I related to on a personal level was very engaging, and then bringing in something magical is always really exciting for me and interesting, and I like to follow that thread and see where that goes.
Yeah, the supernatural element was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? So yeah, I mean, what about the process of, actually, I wanted to ask, like, why did you decide to make it this length? I'm curious about that. What was the decision behind that? That's one thing that I thought that it felt kind of perfect, the length it was, but at the same time, I felt like this could be explored further as well. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like, oh, it was incomplete. It felt complete, but it's like I could see a longer version of this being awesome as well. So what made you think that you wanted to make it shorter?
Well, do you want to take it, or do you want me to take
Oh, go
it?
ahead.
Okay. Well, we were shooting for a specific category in Slam Dance. Slam Dance had introduced last year the 60-second category, and they were taking only 10 films, right, Jenna?
Yeah.
I think for that category. So we made it specifically for that. But Jenna and I have been in talks and working on it's a longer version. It's funny you say that. We'd love to make it a TV
nice.
show or a so we've been kind of working on what could be like a manageable budget for a feature film that we could feasibly make ourselves on the indie level, and then what could be like a amazing big budget like TV show with if our greatest dreams come true.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it fits for a film well, and maybe a TV show too. I think there's a lot you can explore with that concept. We talked about it a little bit in terms of the process, that it was pretty smooth and quick, but were there any unforeseen challenges when you were, writing or shooting it?
I'd say from start to finish, the challenge was brevity, because we wanted to tell a complete story, and we loved the story that we came up with. And the constant challenge was, but how do we fit it in a teeny tiny box? So starting with the writing, we did several edits where we were just like, well, this is 2 pages long. It's never going to work. We have to cut. And to try to tell a whole story was like, these 3 words are not needed. This next sentence, we could make it 2 words instead. And it was, really in that way, a great lesson in screenwriting, because less is often more. Yeah. But then in the filming, when we were actually on set, but one of the biggest challenges was we had these 2 incredible actors who just instantly were in their characters, offering such a rich emotional life that I wanted to let them really let moments breathe and feel it. But we would be like, well, that was 30 seconds and it needs to be. Darn it.
Yeah.
So we have these just beautiful takes that were a minute, in and of themselves that were so good, but we can't.
Yeah.
we would explore a lot of things and then have to go, okay, where can we trim? Because we're timing the takes to see, we know in our head this moment has to be 5 to 7 seconds. That's it. So that was a challenge. And then our editor was just up to the task and was able to really lock in on what moments could sit for just an extra second or 2. And in a 90-second piece, that extra second or 2, you really feel it compared to everything else that's really moving along. So that was the challenge in me.
Yeah, and it didn't feel rushed to me. It didn't feel like it was choppy or something editing wise, trying to fit it into that. It felt natural. So that I feel like it worked out well. What do you think, Tara?
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought Jenna did an amazing job. We got so lucky. Jenna's amazing. So just watching her with the actors and with the cinematographer was great. Our cinematographer is amazing. And the 2 actors are such pros. Like Jenna said, it was heartbreaking. We would get, like Jenna said, these 30-second takes and we're like, this was so beautiful and so good. And we would love to use every single second of this, but we just couldn't. So it was amazing to see how Jenna could reframe it and get that same performance out of these incredible actors, but just shrink down the amount of time, but just capture that same beautiful performance. Yeah. So it was really cool. It was really cool.
Yeah, I like the acting. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say our DP Dominic Lopez, he's such a pro. Yeah. From start to finish, he was so amazing helping me plan everything. And he wore so many hats. I'm not sure anyone has ever worn that many hats. It's just unreal.
World record.
He was our lighting department, our sound department, the entire camera crew. Yes. He was everything. It was nuts. And so I think having his expertise, he's done so much work. Having his expertise was so helpful in those moments too. Because he's got such a great vision. He also directs, so he's got great vision and understanding of all the components of filmmaking. So it was wonderful. Just all the people that came together. We were small but mighty.
Yeah, I really liked the acting as well, and I think Kelsey stood out to me. She really committed to that, and I posted kind of a screenshot, and you could just see in her face how committed she is to the bit, and how serious she, it's kind of you see with comedy a lot of times, the stuff that's funniest is when the actors are taking it seriously and treating it like a drama. You know what I mean? People say that about the US Office, kind of like Steve Carell sometimes, where sometimes he's acting like he's in a drama, but everyone else is laughing. And so I think it kind of felt that way too, that they just took it very seriously. They committed, and it was really impressive. So, well, maybe if you could just tell me a little bit about those actors, where you found them and why you chose them specifically.
Yeah. Kelsey has her huge 5-second films. I don't know if you follow that on Instagram, but they have a big following for it's a comedy sketch But she's an amazing actress. You can kind of speak to that, and then John, she introduced us to Jon Snow, who's also
She-
an incredible actor. Yeah.
Yeah. She was in the same brainstorming group as Tara and I. So when we got a draft we really liked, we came back to the brainstorm group to do a read through. And Kelsey was in the group, and I thought, oh, she might be great for this. So I asked her, could you read for this character for the read through? And I was like, oh, she's it.
Yes.
She's it. And so thankfully she was really into it and willing to play that role. And then I think we asked her, if I remember correctly, if she had someone she would like to work with for us to reach out to. And she's worked with John on a couple other projects, so they know each other really well. And we were like, wow, if he's available, and we checked out his reel and some of his work, and he's so excellent. He's just excellent actor. And we were like, well, if he's willing and able, if he'd like to. So she connected us, and he was like, sure, I'll do it. And so we were like, wow, we have these two great actors. We're just, okay.
We're so excited. We can believe our good luck.
Yeah.
We actually, some of their dialogue is improvised, and they just,
All right.
it was just so seamless because they have that rapport, they have that relationship. So you could feel it right away. They feel comfortable with each other, with trying things, because that can be a little weird as an actor. You don't know everybody, and you're told to just try stuff. It can be a little funky, but they're so comfortable together. They were able to just sink into an improvised conversation very easily, and it really contributed a lot to the realness of their relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, it feels like a lot of things just came together for this one. Sometimes it's not like that, you go through different actors, or someone cancels or something, and here it just seems like the pieces fit together like it was destiny. So
I agree.
yeah, what would you both kind of say? You talked a little bit about why you made it and your inspiration for this premise, but what do you want the audience to think about? I guess maybe some of the same things, but what exactly do you want them to take away from this after watching? What do you want them to feel or think?
I think we don't want them to forget to connect with people in real life. As Jenna was saying, we have so many distractions and so much noise in our life these days. It's easy to get lost in it. But we just don't want people to forget how important that person sitting right next to them is.
Yeah.
Yes. We had a little bit of joking on set, that because everybody on set was either married or engaged, and so in long-term relationships, and we're all like, can't possibly relate to this fight about nothing. What is that? So yeah, it's kind of that feeling of a lot of us are lucky enough to have great people in our lives, and it's important to remember just to connect and lean on them, and not let the world shut out the things that are most important to us.
That's awesome. Yeah. And the other thing I like to ask is about what's a lesson both of you have learned that you can take with you into the next project. One thing that you kind of already talked about is just making things kind of brief, in terms of the script, like you said, and the editing. That was a good lesson for you of how to condense things down. Is there any other lessons that you kind of learned from this project?
I love working with this cast and crew, and I hope to work with them many more times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. I would say on that note too, it's really hard for me sometimes to ask for help, even though my favorite part about making film, no matter what role I'm playing within on set, is that it's collaborative. It's my favorite part. I love working with other like-minded people to build something that's never been made. But it's hard for me to reach out for help, and it's hard for me to ask people, do you want to be a part of this thing that I want to do? It's hard for me. But the collaborating is so great, and I think seeing how people came together to work on this, Those people I didn't even meet until we were on set. They had just already agreed to try and, work with me. Was really, I think, a good lesson. And like if I just ask,
Yeah.
a lot of people are really excited to work on things. And so it's a good reminder to just reach out, connect, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sometimes if you ask someone to get involved in the project, sometimes you can feel like, I don't want to pressure you, or I don't want to inconvenience you. But then sometimes they're like happy to do it. And that really feels good. And that's happened to me as well. So yeah, it's good to kind of take that leap, even if you feel kind of like some anxiety about it. So yeah, that's definitely a good lesson. And I guess another question, like if you were to make this into like a feature film, for example, do you think a lot of the same people would be involved?
Yeah, I would love that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And what's next for both of you in terms of upcoming projects? Do you have anything coming up?
Well, I'm currently in production on a feature film that I'm producing. It's a dark comedy called Ruthie Joins a Death Cult. And it's about a lonely young woman who joins a death cult to find friends. And it's starring a huge cast of comedians, and we're just about to wrap principal photography. So we are very excited, and I can't wait to share that with you.
Hey, yeah, well, that's, we're talking about connecting, and sometimes you got to do crazy stuff to connect with people.
Yes, totally.
Like join a death cult,
Right, exactly.
Join a death cult. Desperate times.
Yeah, what about you, Jenna? What do you got coming up?
So I would like to make another short film next. Write and direct another short film. So have 3 scripts that I'm working on right now. One is, I've already talked to Tara about quite a bit, but I want to make it an R-rated sock puppet web series.
It's hilarious. I mean, it is so funny. I absolutely love this script. Like, laugh out loud every single section of the script as you're reading through it. You just can't help but laugh. It's incredible.
That's awesome.
I can't wait for Jenna to make it.
It will also be like really short little episodes, but it's like a workplace comedy, but with sock puppets.
That's like a web series type thing?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. Yes. And then I'm a big fan of zombies, so I have a short about zombies that I'm working on. That would be more of a bigger budget, so maybe a later one. But and then another sci-fi one, obviously, in outer space.
Yeah. All right. Well.
So I'm working on. Yes. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, hopefully your toddler isn't in the room when you're doing the sock puppet stuff. They might get confused, Oh, it's like a kids show. Yeah.
Definitely.
Kind of reminds me of, did you see Bo Burnham's, what is it called? Inside. I think it was called Inside. He did something with like a sock puppet. But it's a little different, I think, than what you're doing.
Yes. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because I think the sock puppet was kind of like kid friendly, and he was kind of interacting with it, but he would get like angry with it. I don't know, but anyway, it just reminded me of that. But yeah, this sounds like a cool idea. I look forward to seeing both of your projects, and yeah, I really liked this film a lot, and it was awesome talking to you about it. Very insightful. I learned a lot. So yeah, it was great talking to you. Have a great rest of your night, and yeah, hope to keep in touch and check out your upcoming stuff.
Same. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Dave, and thanks for all the positive feedback. We really appreciate it. All the support on Instagram, and it really meant a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's more to come, Be posting more about that.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do, really just spread the word about films that we like, just doing a lot of social media like promotion and stuff. So there's more to come for that. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dave.
All right.
We appreciate your
Yeah.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you for the support.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, bye. See ya.
Have a good night.
See ya.